Hi everybody, you want to find out how to read your insurance quote? Find out next. Got it. And now with us today, we have Mr. Curtis Wall. Thank you so much for coming with us today. And he's going to give us more details how to get information and how to read your insurance quote.
Okay. So the main thing that we're looking at is I deal a lot with real estate transactions. You have a lot of people that call me and say, oh, I'm getting a quote. And when I ask them, what do you got? They says, I don't know, but this is the price.
Exactly.
Right?
That's usually what we see. We just go to the numbers.
So it's really simple when you think of state of Texas. It's always the same. And it's always in the same order. There are 5 coverages in the state of Texas. And everything is based off the first coverage, right? Which is called coverage A. And that is the amount of the home, right? So that's the biggest number on the quote, and it's always the first line. So that is what it would take to replace your home. Okay, now if you didn't buy in a brand new home, you might see that number is either a little bit below or a little bit over. On older homes, you might say, well, I got a great deal on my house, and that number is a little higher. What insurance is looking at is what would it take to rebuild that house, scrape away the home, and replace it.
Okay.
But on a one-off scale. We're not building 100 homes in a neighborhood, we're building one house in a neighborhood, right? And the key thing you want there is to make sure that your quote is getting replacement cost versus having actual cash value. And the easiest way to explain that is, we've all bought cars. Okay, so let's go to the dealership and buy a car. We buy a $10,000 car today, but tomorrow we decide we don't like that car. We're gonna go trade it in. Are they gonna give you $10,000 for that car? No, they're gonna give you trade-in value. So replacement cost is what you could go buy something for new. Actual cash value is what's the trade-in value of something. It's always less. And we wanna make sure that that's on the home, the dwelling, and on your contents, your stuff. You don't want to have a brand new 15-inch TV, spend $1,000 for, and then they give you $100 for it because it was stolen. Right? The second coverage is other structures. Surprisingly, there's a few carriers in Texas that don't give you other structures. That's like any structure in your lot that's not attached to the house.
Oh, okay.
Like your fence, sometimes a carport. If you have a storage shed in the back, your swimming pool would be considered another structure, so that to pay attention to. If you have a gazebo, things like that.
Okay.
I always recommend 10% of at least coverage A, or if you have certain things that are more expensive than that, you can add that up. You can always customize it. The third coverage is your stuff. It's called personal content. That's if you took the house and you turned it upside down and shook it, everything fell out.
Oh, wow.
So we're not going to accumulate these things over time. We're going to go out and give you a check to replace it now. If your house burned down today, what would it take to buy all your clothes, all your electronics, all your furniture, everything that's included, like jewelry, things like that. But we're going to do it over a weekend, not over years. So is that number you might see and say, well, that's too high. I always explain it that way because that helps you. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm not going to go buy it on Facebook, $20 couch. I'm going to go to Ashley's Furniture and buy a $300 couch or a $3,000 couch.
So that gets taken care of.
Yes, ma'am. Then the coverage after that is coverage D. This is called loss of use. Most people never use it, but it's really important. Like the hurricane we just had, you get displaced. This is, I lost the use of my home. It was burned down, roof was peeled back, whatever it is. While they're doing repairs, that number is there to pay for you to live somewhere else. It also includes, like the Hurricane Harvey we had, that storm, we have people living hundreds of miles away. Well, they still had to go to work. So loss of use would pay for them to go to work. The extra costs, the extra living expenses, the food, things like that. So it's really, really nice to have. The fifth one is important because it's called liability. This is the thing that protects your home. Somebody gets hurt on your property. Birthday parties, we're in South Texas. I always say, you always see the birthday parties and you have the piñatas. There's cases where people were swinging the pinata and hit a kid in the eye.
Oh, goodness.
Well, that kid went to the hospital. If they need their medical expenses covered.
That would help.
Liability covers you for that. Somebody gets hurt on your property. And you always want that value to be higher than the house. Best way to explain that is, if I have a $200,000 house and I have a $500,000 in this hand, which one do you want? You want $500,000. So that's, and the fifth coverage is medical expenses. This is something I didn't know until I got into insurance. I wish I would have known. Is if somebody gets hurt on your property that's not part of your family, medical payment or medical coverage would pay for their medical bill if they get hurt. Right?
Wow.
So I actually, this sounds like it should be a movie, but had a friend of mine come over, we're putting trim up. We had a defaulting nail guy, he wasn't paying attention, he literally put a nail through his hand. And pulled it out, had to get stitches, go to the hospital for it, whatever. And just get it looked at. My home insurance would have paid that bill. It's not a deductible. There's nothing that's doesn't count against you anyway. It's good faith payment. Okay. So those are the 5 coverages. It's A through F, or 6. Coverages.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah. You always see 5 on the
Uh-huh.
quote. The 6th one is part of the statement. There's always 5 in your quote. Sometimes you'll see a 6.
Okay.
That's it. Then the other part is just your deductible. All deductibles are based off the first number of coverage.
Okay. Okay, perfect. And let me ask you, if one of our people that they're watching us, they have a question, what would be the best way to reach you at?
You can call us at 361-533-433-5140.
No worries.
You can email me at curtis.wall@goosehead.com.
Okay.
Or any other way you like, but those are the 2 best ways to get hold of me.
Perfect. Anyways, any questions that we have, please go ahead and contact Curtis. We'll still have his information down at the bottom. Okay, any questions that we have, it's very important. Make sure you have all those coverages in your insurance. And if you're not sure or not familiar how to go about it, definitely ask the professional and ask him, and he will let you know. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being with us today.
Yes, ma'am.
And yeah, have a great day. Bye-bye.